I will show you how to knit this special row where the V-neck splits. Go pretty slow to the stitch or needle number 25 and you will stop that. That's our needle 25. You knit this one, take the yarn over or remove the yarn from tensioner, and this next 4 or 5 stitches we're gonna put on different color yarn. It's not my machine moving, but I poke in my camera stand. So we're gonna remove 4 to 5 or 6, whatever you need, and we put them on a different color yarn. Okay, I was hoping 4 stitches would be enough, but then I found this one more stitch that is loose, so I have 5 stitches on the yarn. And we're gonna mark stitch number 25. We need to mark it with different color or yarn or something like this. And this stitch, that's gonna be our middle of V-neck, and this stitch is gonna be on both, we're gonna share it on both sides of V-neck. Now we're gonna work only on the right side of the V-neck. So knit it as usually, and when we get to stitch 25, we're just gonna decrease the row. Remove yarn from needle 25 and put it on needle 24. I'm knitting loose stitches, and every odd row we're gonna decrease the stitch. There is a video, detailed video how to decrease stitch, and it's very simple. You just remove the yarn from the stitch before and put it on a stitch next to it. Depends on a project and pattern, but I think it's usually we decrease it 13 times and we're gonna have 8 or 10 stitches left. It depends on a pattern. So now I'm gonna forward it. I usually write down every row I decrease, but because I'm making a video, I didn't want to write it down, so I'm counting how many stitches left for this pattern, and I think I had 10 stitches left, so this is gonna be my last decrease. And then depends on the project and how deep V-neck you want, you add more rows, but it depends on the pattern. I will cut about 4 feet of the end to finish the panel or half of the panel with single crochet, and maybe I will have enough to sew it. sew the shoulders together, and I'm gonna finish it with waste yarn as any other panel. Now we are done with one side of v-neck or shoulder, and now pay attention how we're gonna turn the machine. We are done with this side, and machine will stop at needle 48 because we have button to panel. So now we will switch the button to tube so we can turn around. Bring a new yarn about 4 feet long and start knitting as usually. Make sure it's knitted correctly under the hook. And now when we get to the last stitch, we will have 5 stitches on or 4 stitches on a yellow yarn, plus the last stitch that we share. We will hook it up back on needle. First stitch is on. You can see it really nice with a contrast yarn and little close up. Three more stitches on the yellow yarn. Put a stitch all the way down so we get knitted correctly. Last stitch on the yellow yarn, and we're also gonna put the stitch that we share with other side of the v-neck. Now we can make sure the stitches are on, and we can remove the yellow yarn. And now knit as usually. And we will decrease 13 times on this side. So this is gonna be our first stitch decreasing. Second time decreasing the row, stitch, and we will decrease 11 more times until we have 10 stitches left. So this is our last row of working yarn. And we will finish with 6 rows of a waste yarn. Even if it's waist yarn, make sure every stitch is knitted correctly. Okay, and we are done. We just remove it gently from the machine. Sometimes there is few stitches hooked. Now I'm gonna move it on the side to show you how's the pattern. Be careful because the waist yarn can be undone and you don't wanna do that. This is kind of a funny short panel, but this is for my different project than what you're doing. Okay, so this is our v-neck. Ten stitches on the top, and we can remove the middle stitch or marked stitch. Okay, depends on the project. Sometimes the v-neck can be much deeper. It depends on how many row on the top, and if the v-neck is too deep, you can like sew this two pieces together. It depends on your size and v-neck deep depth. It's a very nice edge. I don't do anything with that edge. I think it looks fine like it is. With this pattern I wouldn't crochet or anything else, but it's up to you what you want to do. And it's nice also on inside out. Okay, happy knitting.